What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today with your, I guess, recap slash 3-round mock after night 1 of the NFL draft. I'm not going to go too in depth here with everybody in terms of we got a lot of picks to get through. It's already late. I got a flight in the morning I got to catch, so I will not be able to make this a long video. So we're going to kind of run through things pretty quickly. Browns went Mason Graham. Traded down. Travis Hunter was not the guy for them. Jaguars ended up trading up, so the Browns did pick up some equity here in the second round. We thought maybe QB was on their minds trading down. Nah, wasn't the case. Mason Graham was their guy. You look at the defense, Will Johnson would fit a lot of needs there, being the best player available. Corner, they're potentially a better grade than some of the QBs. Texans, they also traded down. They traded down with for the Jackson Dart move for the Giants. But the Texans, I know my boy Cam's been telling me they got to go O-line, they got to go O-line. Well, I'm giving you Ariante Ursary. I know he's kind of viewed as this big body tackle guy that you might have to develop a little bit. Guess what? The Texans really don't have a choice at this point. He's the next best guy. These guys will go fast and furious. They will be off of the board quick. I said it to my friends. They were like, oh, we could probably get Donovan Jackson in the second round. I'm like, dude, these guys are going to go quick. They went quick, and they were gone in an instant. Titans, you got Cam Ward. You got to go get a pass catcher for Cam Ward. I don't care. I don't care if you have Calvin Ridley and Traylon Burks, who Cam Ward has already hyped up. You got to go get somebody. I know Luther Burden slid a little bit. There might have been some character concerns there that I've kind of briefly heard. Not really sure what they're about. Don't really want to fully buy into those because we haven't really heard what any of that's about with Luther Burden. Too good of a player to continue to fall. There he goes. This is where it all ends for one of the QBs. One of the QBs. To me, it came down to Milroe and Shedeur here. It's got to be Shedeur. It's got to be Shedeur. Shedeur joining Will Johnson and Mason Graham. You get to the Raiders. Raiders went Asher Genty, broke my Chicago Bears hearts. Now you got to either boost up your offense or find somebody to block for them. And these guys right here, I'm not too interested in terms of picking at this moment in time. But receivers, Jaden Higgins, Alec Amanor, Jack Besh, I am interested in. I think we are going to take Jaden Higgins, the one I like the most out of that group. We get to the New England Patriots. They went Will Campbell. We thought maybe they might throw a curveball and go running back. Guess what? They will. Trevion Henderson on the board still. It could be Caleb Johnson. I feel like that might be a sneaky Caleb Johnson pick, but we're going Trevion Henderson there. The Bears now on the clock. My kind of love for Xavier. For Malachi Starks, not Xavier Starks, or Xavier Watts, Malachi Starks, I thought maybe he'd slide down. I kept like, well, him and Will Johnson, I'm like, oh, maybe you trade up. No, they didn't. Imagine they stick here and pick. They took Colston Loveland. Shout out to Colston Loveland. This pick was not one I particularly saw coming. I thought, hey, it's probably Tyler Warren here. Colston Loveland, though, 6'6", big time threat over the middle for catching the ball. Going to be a good safety valve for Caleb Williams. I don't mind it. Just was not on the top of my brain as a pick potentially. Well, guess what? Tyleik Williams not there. We were considering maybe him. Don't love these defensive tackle options. Edge rusher still in play. Still a couple guys. It's gonna be a little weird. You don't want to go Mike Green. Mike Green, I think, is really, really good, but I'm taking Nick Scorton. You're hoping to get the Purdue production out of Nick Scorton. The Saints here, once again, we're going to see a QB go. This one, though, is going to be Tyler Shuck. It's not going to be Jalen Milroe. It's going to be Tyler Shuck. The Bears back on the clock. You imagine they go running back with the remaining running backs. I think Quinshon Judkins is the closest thing to the bell cow that you can get. We're going Quinshon there. The Jets. They went Mimbu, boosting up that offensive line, did not address tight end. Guess what? There's a tight end people thought might slide late first round. Mason Taylor's your guy here. The 49ers, they went Michael Williams. I think they continue to go these high upside picks. They might shock you a little bit. They're going corner. They're going Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin Morrison coming off injury, but if he returns to pre-injury Benjamin Morrison, that's a first-round pick caliber player. Dallas Cowboys, we get to them. Tyler Booker was the guy. You think maybe running back in play. We want to wait till 76? Probably not. Running back in play here. Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Cam Scatterbo are our options, really. I like Caleb Johnson. We'll have him go here. Colts, they went Tyler Warren. Guess what? Mike Green and Donovan Ezeraku on the board. Donovan Ezeraku kind of just, to me, feels like a Colt. You're going to look at him. Big time numbers last year. He definitely is a deserving top 50 player. The Rams have not selected. They have not selected tight ends off the board. Some of their top positions off the board, right? This could maybe be Trey Amos. I'm actually going to go have them grab another linebacker off the board in Carson Schweschinger. We thought maybe he could go first round. Didn't hear his name called. Cardinals. We get Walter Nolan here. To me, I thought they would go corner in the first round. They're going corner now. Trey Amos is my guy. Dolphins, they went Kenneth Grant. Kind of shocked us a little bit. Thought maybe they go offensive line because you need to keep Tua up, and I still think you do go offensive line. And then you got to figure out which one it is, right? And to me, I think probably Tate Rowledge would be your option here. The Bengals, they went up. They got Shamar Stewart. You think probably boosting up on the defensive side of the ball, secondary, maybe an interior offensive lineman. You just saw Tate Rowledge go, probably your guy there if you wanted to go offensive line. Well, guess what? Siobhan Revell is there. I'm taking Siobhan Revell to play in my secondary there for the Bengals. The Seahawks now up, and with them they went Gray Zabel. I think probably you're going to need another receiver in there. You just have JSN, you lost Lockett, you lost DK Metcalf, Alec Ayamanor. Really like the upside there. Go and get them. You get to the Broncos. The Broncos are a team also in need of a running back. They went Jahdae Barron, maybe a receiver. Thought Matthew Golden might have been an option there when he was on the board. Jack Besh is there for them, but the running back's too good to pass up on. If I am them, I'm taking Cam Scatterbo. Seahawks back on the clock quickly with only a pick between them. Gray Zabel, Alec Ayamanor. Now we are probably just going to go boost up our edge here. We're going to look at Mike Green. We're going to say we might not have had the cleanest of report on Mike Green, but at this point, the player is worth the pick. You're gambling on the upside there with Mike Green and gambling that everything comes out all right with him. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Emeka Egbuka, kind of a shock in the first round. Guess what? We're going to go to the defensive backs here. We're going Darian Porter out of Iowa State. Thought maybe they would be interested in a defensive back. Packers, they went Matthew Golden, of course, because they got to torture my Bears. Here, though, we just saw a corner go off the board. We're going to see another one here in Azareye'h Thomas. You get to the Chargers. The Chargers here at 55. You think probably you're looking to maybe add a pass catcher still. Yes, there are some defensive line needs. Maybe you could talk yourself into one of these guys. To me, though, you still look at receiver. Jack Besh being there. Pair him up with Ladd McConkey. The Bills got Maxwell Harrison. So you're probably looking here at edge. To me, there's a couple guys worth taking here. JT Tuimoloau is my guy, though. Talk about the Ohio State edge rushers. This might be another one. We did take Tetairoa McMillan. Receivers not a need for me. Corner, he ain't there. There ain't one there for me. Guess what? There might be an edge, though, and that edge will be a little earlier than expected. Jack Sawyer. The Texans, they took Ursery. Guess what? Now we got to dip into the receiver pool, potentially. We are going to go grab Trey Harris, a receiver that I really liked out of Ole Miss. Ravens, they went Malachi Starks. Right now, you're probably looking at a Ravens team that is able to gamble a little bit. Do they go for one of those guys? Maybe. I think we'll have them take Jared Wilson here. The Lions, they went to Tyleik Williams. Think maybe they could add another receiver at some point. Linebacker might be in play, guard might be in play. Receivers, though, the ones on the board, they get real interesting real quick. Xavier Restrepo, I really like, would potentially be that third receiver if they are able to keep Jameson Williams around. But Jalen Noel, if you do get rid of Williams, could be the guy also. Commanders, big time pickup, Josh Connerly. Now you're probably looking for a running back. I do know you have Brian Robinson sitting around. You probably don't love it. But we're going Dylan Sampson, the the hard-nosed running back out of Tennessee. We get to the Bills. The Bills went Maxwell Harrison, JT Tuimoloau. They are loading up on the defense. So now we go to the offense naturally. We know we have Khalil Shakir, but we think, hey, maybe we can strike lightning at about more than once. We're going Jalen Noel to run the inside slot for us. The Kansas City Chiefs pop up. Josh Simmons was their pick. Big time steal for them, by the way. They're a team that just always seems to be in the right spot at the right time. We are going to go defensive tackle. We are going to go Omar Norman. A lot there for them. We get to the Eagles. The Eagles went Jahad Campbell once again. How did they do it? They just keep getting lucky, right? No, they know how to draft. They let the draft come to them, and then they trade up and get their guy. Here, though, probably nothing here that really wows me in terms of the Eagles. Jahad Campbell, possibly, he might think he could run edge. But here, I think we're not banking off him running edge. I think we go Landon Jackson here. The Giants took Abdul Carter Jackson Dart. We got to get somebody other than Malik Neighbors to throw him the ball to, probably. Is that a running back? I don't know. Is it a receiver? I don't know. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this pick, to be honest with you. Abdul Carter Jackson Dart. Here we go. What are the receiver options? What are my receiver options here? This is not a good group. It's Malik Neighbors and the crew. I really like Isaac Tesla. I really like Torrey Horton. I'm going to give him Torrey Horton. I think maybe Torrey Horton being a little bit underrated here in the PFF grade of things. Kansas City, this is one of the picks they picked up via trade. Omar Norman Lott, Josh Simmons, they're building in the trenches. Guess what? Now they are going to make us punished. They already have Isaiah Pacheco. Their Carson Steele thing didn't really work out. They're going to go get R.J. Harvey, a guy that can catch the ball and be effective out of the backfield. The Browns now with Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Shadur Sanders. Guess what? We need somebody to throw the ball to if we are them. We're going to dip here, and I think we are going to maybe go. I think Isaac Tesla is the guy, big body, potential slot receiver there as well. We get to the Raiders. The Raiders went Genty and Higgins. You think maybe now you go defensive tackle. There's a few on the board still worth taking, in my opinion. Darius Alexander, a little older of an option, but makes some sense there to me. Patriots, they went Will Campbell, Trevion Henderson. Here I would probably think maybe you go receiver. Keep adding weapons there for your boy Drake May. I'm trying to think of who that number one receiver would be even there. Do they need a more of a big body? Jalen Polk, I like. Demario Douglas, a little on the smaller side. Kendrick Bourne, Kayshawn. Yeah, maybe looking for a little bit bigger. Demario Douglas is probably the one that would stick out of that group. Maybe Jalen Polk as well. So Kyle Williams on a little bit of the smaller side, I believe. Yeah, 6 foot. So we're gonna give him Kyle Williams here in these middle rounds. The Jaguars, they are up. They took Travis Hunter. This is where we are taking a defensive tackle yet again. We are going T.J. Sanders out of South Carolina. The Saints, they went Kelvin Banks, Tyler Shuck. Now we are going to go around here. Maybe dip into the running back pool and go DJ Gittens. a guy that I really liked out of Kansas State last year. Bears are on the board. Xavier Watts, Kevin Winston, both on the board. They get their choice at safety, and even if they want a Makuba, he is there as well. Kevin Winston, though, is my guy. The Jets, they went Mimbu, they went Mason Taylor. You think maybe here they go defensive line. C.J. West would be my next guy there. The Panthers, they went Teteroa McMillan, Jack Sawyer, thought they were potentially a defensive tackle spot as well. Guess what? They remain such because I am going to go take Shamar Turner out of A&M. You get to the 49ers. The 49ers went Mykel Williams, Ben Morrison, sorry. At this point, you're sitting there looking at Xavier Watts. Real tempting. I'm taking Xavier Watts. Dallas Cowboys, they went Tyler Booker, Caleb Johnson. I'm looking at maybe getting a receiver here. Savion Williams, they've seen him up close and personal. He plays in Dallas at TCU, obviously. We're going Savion Williams there. Patriots, back on the clock. Campbell, Henderson, Williams. Guess what? Now we are going to go to the defense. We are going to go probably look at these edge rushers. Princely, a guy I really like. Josiah Stewart, I really like there. I think we are going to give them Princely there as well, though. We get to the Cardinals. They went Walter Nolan, Trey Amos. They're having an Ole Miss draft. They might have another one if Princely was there, but he is not. Maybe I should go for the trifecta, though, and just force something and give them Jared Ivey. You probably wouldn't like that, would you, Cardinals fans? Guess what? That's exactly why I'm doing it. Probably very unlikely. Miami, or well, not Miami. The Texans, they went Ursary, they went Trey Harris. We're going to dip back into the offensive alignment again. We're going to go more of the developmental side of things, though, this time. And we are going to take Anthony Belton out of NC State. The Colts, tight end, edge, we filled those needs up. We're probably looking here for a linebacker. Chris Paul, Danny Stutzman, Demetrius Knight. I like Stutzman. Demetrius Knight, I understand. He's on a little bit of the older side, isn't he? Yeah, one of the oldest prospects in this class. Yeah, whatever. We're going to go Demetrius Knight here. The Bengals, Shamar Stewart, Siobhan Ravel. I think here maybe you do go offensive line. I'll tell you why I'm not clicking these interior offensive linemen. They're just not very good on the BFF scale. Like Miles Frazier, not taking him. Jonah, though. Jonah, I think, can play a little bit everywhere. I'm taking Jonah here for the Bengals. We get to the Seahawks. They've gone Gray Zabel, Alec Ayamanor, Mike Green. Here we are drafting safety. I like safety here for them. Andrew Makuba, Nick Manwari's there. Nick Manwari is my guy. Thought maybe he'd go a little higher. Still there right now. Steelers, they went Derek Harmon. Guess what? They are going Jalen Milroe. He is there. We are taking him. Buccaneers. The Buccaneers went Emeka Egbuka, Darian Porter. Now we are going to go probably going to go linebacker here. And I think this is where Danny Stutzman goes. Broncos, we've gone Cam Scatterbo, we've gone Jahdae Barron. Guess what? We are doing it. Tez Johnson, Bo Nix, welcome back together. There it is. Chargers, Amarian Hampton, Jack Besh. They're going to build in the trenches at some point, but that point might not be right now because Elijah Arroyo is still sitting there. He is a good fit there. Packers, Azareye'h Thomas, Matthew Golden. You think, hey, you probably go edge at some point. Braden Swenson's there. I like the fit there. Jaguars. The Jaguars on the clock. Hunter, Sanders. You might want to go tight end, but you just saw one go off the board. Safety still there with Makuba. I'd take Makuba. Texans went Ursary, Harris, Belton. You probably still would maybe want to invest a little bit more in that offensive line. Their offensive line just is not going to be good next year. Like, I'll go look at it, and my buddy Cam said, hey, just draft everything offensive line. This is not a good offensive line. So with that being said, that it's just not a good offensive line, we're going to go take Ozzy Trapillo, one of the more interesting prospects still on the board in terms of the offensive line group. The Rams, Carson Schweshinger, we took, I think here, though, we might go corner, Dorian Strong being available. We're going to go Dorian Strong. We get to the Ravens. The Ravens had Jared Wilson, Malachi Starks. Guess what? There's still edges available. Josiah Stewart, somebody I really like. Josiah Stewart is my pick there. Seahawks, Zabel, Amenor, Mike Green, Eman Wari. Now what do you need, though? Now what do you need? Probably just more interior offensive line depth. Don't know if you get it there, but you might be able to get it with a guy like Charles Grant. Played left tackle. You might be able to get a little bit with Wyatt Millum. Marcus Mbao, I just struggle to get there with. Did we draft edge, maybe? We got Mike Green. Gee, we got Mike Green. Wow. This is tough. Do I maybe go tight end? Probably not. Linebacker, I know it might be a need. We're going to go Chris Paul. We're going to go Chris Paul Jr. Saints back on the board. Tyler Shuck, Kelvin Baines, DJ Gittens. And now we are getting an opportunity once again to go and draft a defensive lineman this time. Probably on the defensive tackle side of things. Alfred Collins is there. That is my guy. The Browns on the clock. And Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Shadur Sanders, Isaac Tesla. Guess what? We are probably going to go offensive line. It's a lot of teams are going to go offensive line. Charles Grant, we're going to trust developmenting him. Kansas City Chiefs, we went tackle, defensive tackle, halfback. Guess where we're going? The edges are just too good, right? The edges are just too good. I really like Ashton Gelati here. We're going Ashton Gelati. The Eagles, Jod Campbell, Landon Jackson, of course. They just keep getting rich. Receiver, though, we're going to go get Pat Bryant. Really like Pat Bryant out of Illinois. Obviously, watch a lot of him. Always has the 50-50 balls. They're more like 70-30 with him. He's a guy that's always going to be open, high character, everything you want in a leader. He's that guy. We get to the Vikings. Donovan Jackson. Got to look at the corners. I really like Kobe Bryant. I think he should go higher than what it's projected there. So we're going to go Kobe. The Dolphins, they went Rutledge. They went Kenneth Grant. And guess what they're going to do? Offensive line, they're going Wyatt Millum. Texans, we've invested a lot. We've invested a lot in offensive line. Like one of these guys are going to hit. We do, at some point, though, have to go away from the offensive line because you can't just continuously draft offensive line till the end of time. So, can I get anywhere with any of these guys, right? Like, I just struggle to see what else they could do, man. Their offensive line is just so bad. Like, it's just not where it needs to be. I will have them taking a playoff, though. Going to get a guy that can produce. Produced at Oregon at least 10 sacks last year. Jordan Birch, go get him. But he only had 3 sacks the year before. That is shocking to me, actually. Seems like he was always just so good. San Francisco. No trades. San Francisco, Mike Williams, Ben Morrison, Xavier Watts. Guess what? They've filled their secondary. They filled their defensive end situation. A little bit more of a fun pick here. Offensive line, Marcus Mbao, a little bit of a developmental guy, but there you go. Rams, Schweshinger, Strong. I might do it. Will Howard sit behind Stafford. Might be a little bit of a shocker there for some people. And then we get to Tyleik Williams, Xavier Restrepo. The rich get richer, man. These edge rushers, there's just so many of them. And I think Olu Oladejo is the guy here coming off a 7-sack season. So there you go. Obviously, some guys will fall out. I mean, it's a really good depth class. It's a lot of guys that can compete for starting positions. It just wasn't. People were like, "This draft's not great." Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of blue chips. But like all these guys that I've just picked, like Trevion Henderson, Nick Scorton, Schlesinger, Ezeraku, Revel, even some guys I probably picked here. Let's see if I can find somebody specific. Kevin Winston, Xavier Watts, Nick Manwari, Jalen Milroe was in the draft room. There's just a lot of guys in here that were guys that people are like might go first round. So like, I don't think it's crazy to say any of these things can happen. Like, yes, I know. Like maybe you're like, hey, how did Josiah Stewart get to 91? Definitely possible in this year's class. A lot of depth to this class. A lot of guys I think come in and compete for starting jobs, but not the blue chip guys that people were talking about. But we did recap a little bit of what everybody did. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Let me know down below if you were happy with your team's draft. The Bears, Coastal Leveling, so far I'm okay with it. I'm not in love with it, but I am okay with it. I thought tight end was a need, definitely. You have Cole Kmet, but you were looking for a second. Ben Johnson, you expect him to really know how to get the best out of Colston Leveling. See his work with Sam Laporta, obviously, but now your next question is how do you follow that up? So that is going to be the exciting thing. Look forward to seeing what happens. I got to get a little bit of sleep here before I hop on a flight. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.